I wanted to ask you about there's a fight with a Dominican. I know you don't train him, but you a knowledgeable person in boxing. Edwin de los Santos will be fighting Shakur Stevenson. Uh, what's your opinion on that fight? Because a lot of people saying Shakur is gonna, wipe the floor with him. It's gonna be 11 rounds to 1, 12 rounds to 0. You're the upset king, so I kind of want to know your perspective on the fight. And don't worry if you feel a certain way against a Dominican, you're still good in my book. I just want
No,
to know
no,
your
no,
opinion.
no. Hey, man, I love the Dominicans. Don't get it.
no,
Hey, it had nothing to do with the Dominican fighters. Carlos
no.
Adames, I
I'm
got big
saying if
love
you're
for.
against, if you're picking against De Los Santos, I'm saying you're good with me. I'm saying like you don't got to worry about me
Oh, okay.
jumping on you. That's what I meant.
No, yeah, De Los Santos can punch, right? He can box too. He proved he can box. He can punch. I think what he has to do is if he goes in there and just looks at it as a fight. I'm not fighting Shakur Stevenson. It's just a fight. It's another guy. If he can compartmentalize and do that, he has a great chance for the upset. There's no two ways about it. Or it's going to be a very competitive fight. It's going to be a very competitive fight. When Shakur fight Concepcion, everybody's like, oh, Shakur just. No, Concepcion had moments too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I hear the commentators. Shut the commentating off. Shut
Yeah,
the
it was,
commentating off. Shut the commentating off and just watch the fight. So he had moments too. Don't act like this guy don't get touched up, like he don't get hit, and like, yeah, he's great. He's superior. He's tactically great. You can't take nothing away from him. He's a tremendous fighter, but he ain't in there just mashing dudes and just mauling them out and just taking them out. I mean, hell, he hit Concepcion with 30 low blows on that night, and he still couldn't get him out of there. Okay, so and that's the truth, I just keep it 100, right? And I love Shakur. Matter of fact, I just talked with one of his coaches the other day because I'm gonna help him get some sparring to help him get ready for that fight. Believe it or not, right? So everybody's pretty close in this business, for some of my guys to get them experience with him. But De Los Santos, like I said, if he goes in there and doesn't look at it like it's Shakur, doesn't get caught up in like, man, this is going to be the thing that changes my life. Just focus to boxing. He does that. He got a great chance for an upset, or it's going to be a much more competitive fight than people think.
what do you think is the key tactic Edwin should do in that fight? Like
No
if you,
respect. You can't give him any respect.
I got you. So more the mentality as opposed
You
to,
can't give him any respect.
I got
If
you.
you give him respect and you let him talk, he'll talk you out of your lunch money, right? I watched him sparring this and that. He'll talk you out of your lunch money.
Okay. All right. All right. Tell Hector. Tell Hector. I don't want to see him spawn with Shakur. We're not help. We're
You
not
know what's
helping him.
funny? That's the one that they hit up for Hector to spar with, right? So we were going to spar with him, but Hector's like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You,
So tell De Los Santos he got a that's what I'm telling you about Hector Garcia. He's a real one. Ain't no managers telling me, man, you got to do this. You got to. I'm here and I'm winning, and ain't happening. He's a real loyal guy. I get it. A lot of the fighters got to do what their management or their promoters say to a degree. But sometimes you could just say, hey, no, ain't happening. I ain't doing it. I'm doing this, and that tells you what kind of person Hector is, though, too. Because, like I said, when they asked him to spar, he's like, nah, I'm not. I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to help this guy out to go against my fellow Dominican. And let De Los Santos know that. And let all the Dominicans know that. That's what you got in Hector Garcia, man. That's why you got to rally around that guy. He's a real one.
I'll definitely relay that message back to Edwin. Edwin will be in Vegas in a couple weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. Would you allow Edwin to go spar with I mean Hector to go spar with Edwin? Is that something you would allow?
Of course, we would help him give him some work. We got to get the Dominicans over the top, baby. Let's go.
No, for sure. And as you know, Hector is somewhat like the big homie. Like he's the He's the oldest out of this crop. He's also one of the most accomplished in the amateurs. He three-time silver medals in the Pan American Games, and in the Olympics, he got man. It's one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. And
Well,
what
hey, we all know what happened with that, right? If all the stuff that happened with that, they were talking about not even having boxing for a while in the Olympics because it was
yeah,
so
it came
bad.
out. It came out that that was one of the fights that was corrupted.
Yeah,
So it's not
unfortunately,
even.
that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, but that's people talk about professional boxing, man. Amateur boxing is like 20 times worse.
You know what? I love the sport of boxing, and sometimes we're in this sport, and sometimes boxing gets a bad rap, but it isn't just boxing. It's life in general. It's human beings. We got some great doctors out there, and we got some doctors out there be prescribing stuff that they shouldn't be prescribing to people, and so you got some great lawyers out there, and you got some bad lawyers out there. And the same thing with boxing. Sometimes boxing gets too bad of a rap in terms of it's corrupt, it's this. No, 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 no. You got good politicians, you got bad politicians, you got good doctors, you got bad doctors. Anytime you have people involved in anything, professional football, uh, in the educational, whatever it is, you can have good people and you got bad people. And it's unfortunate. And hopefully, when those people are caught, they should be held to account.